Ladies and gentlemen, the WCI upper bracket final in between OPUR and FALCONS. On Ghost Town, we're going to be starting off with a 50B and IS-7 double T-57 heavy tank and triple mouse for the Polish team of OPUR.
I like the look of the double T-57 heavy, always a big fan of that one. You got double CCTP, double IS-7, double mouse, CS-63 to round things out for FALCONS, so a very standard lineup on a map like Ghost Town. FALCON bringing here.
OPUR, 3 autoloaders, 3 autoloading heavy tanks. That is 4,800 damage potential in the clips. And the thing with the T-57s, what are they doing different than that 50B? Well, first of all, you don't need 7.5 seconds to clip out. You only need 6. Second of all, you have that heat pen. That is quite a bit higher. That doesn't lose pen over distance. And 3, the DPM is just so much higher because you reload that clip so much faster. So definitely the better brawling heavy. And on top of that, a bit more armor, but nothing really to speak of at this level of gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to note, though, that it's not necessarily the T-57 heavies that are going to be looking to find themselves in the brawl all that much. They've actually gone toward the outskirts of the map. T-Sec up to the A3 position, and Rexar and the other T-57 heavy is sort of making his way along the one line at the moment. So they're kind of keeping themselves in the back lines. Potential to clutch up if necessary, if they're healthy. Always lovely to have an autoloader late in the rounds at a pretty good amount of HP. So we'll keep them in the back lines, keep a rain check on the T-57 heavies, and see how the rest of the game plays out before really having to unleash them proper into the brawl.
I mean, interesting position by that 50B as well in G3. Normally you see like an IS-7, 277 in that kind of position to sort of punish the K-line cross. Instead, this time it's going to be Piotrek in that 50B, going to be eyeing himself a bit of that south line crossing, but obviously only HR in that CS-63 crossing over there. HR did spot out Pan's Fury, so Pan's Fury does know that on the K-line someone has been spotted, and Fender, the first one to take a shot of damage. But I think FALCONS, they didn't really find what they were looking for in that northern part of the map. That is why now we do see that rotation with the double IS-7 of Jiangshan and Otto coming into effect.
I mean, it does concern me a little bit, though, because OPUR has been able to really set up quite nicely around that 2 flag, and if that's inevitably what's going to be your option for Falcon, and you can't really imagine that there's much else for them to go for at this point, then you're really going to be copping a beating heading in that direction. So I am a little bit concerned already for Falcon. They've given up a bit too much map control to OPUR.
I mean, now we do see the push coming into effect. Fender, the first one to take a shot of damage. I believe, once again, Ketsai there, the team captain, stepping up to the task. Though Reflection, Jiangshan and Otto, they haven't been spotted yet, and Ketsai not missing a beat. 3-4-0, the donation starting to come in, and now the jig is up. Falcon crossing onto the cap with triple heavy tank.
Not good from Fender, though, and as I said, you're obviously going to see a little bit of damage getting dealt out here. OPUR already had a good setup, the T-57 heavy in particular, up on the hill. T-Sec able to clip out as those guys try to get in on the cap, and I'm sorry, but I don't think that that was a clean enough cross to say that you're in a good position, not to mention now a fire onto Jiangshan as well. Falcon are in a really rough spot.
Falcon's in a rough spot here, and that fact is that Ketsai still full HP. Make the 2.6 as Reflection does connect a shot, but Carol with a good shot into Fender here as well. And the cap not really an issue currently as T-Sec from the backlines coming in on towards Robin. He's going to be able to clip out with that 1600 damage potential. Piotrek with that 50B coming in as well. And OPUR, they have just done such a great job of making the Falcons bleed.
Yeah, 3k damage out from Ketsai already. I mean, look, there's 9 seconds on the cap timer, but I don't think that's really a concern here for OPUR at all. They've got that reset, they've got the opening pick, and it's about to follow suit with another one. Robin is not long for this world. Lucky now that that tank is on the reload. And Falcon, I mean, they're trying desperately to do something about it, but the reality is going to be that they have lost so much already that even if they're able to trade Karolf down, Ketsai will continue to pump that damage out alongside Orchek, and even then, it is taking them so long to get the better of Ketsai here, of Karolf here, that I just think it's too far gone.
I mean, Karolf doing exactly what he's supposed to do, that is tank the damage, and I think he's been padding that block all game long. OPUR here with double the HP and also with the tanks to boot. The autoloader still very, very healthy, and that is never a good sign if you're on the opposing team. Now it's just a cleanup operation as Reflection also does get sent towards the garage. Pan's Fury is going to go down towards HR in that CS-63, but now we can see T-Sec there with the bounce on the last shot on towards Robin, so T-Sec with the potential to go down as Robin does fall down here, but he does have less HP, so T-Sec with the kill, with no ammo in his clip. A bit of styling coming out by OPUR.
What am I watching at this point? I don't know. Archer and HR, the last two alive for Falcon. Not really too much of a possibility that they're going to be able to clutch out this first round. And I have to say, quite a decisive start from OPUR. That has me feeling quite confident about my prediction that they're going to not only win this series, but avoid going through to the tiebreaker as well. And early days, of course, for Falcon. They'll be wanting to show us their hand on the defensive side of Ghost Town before we get too excited. But, you know, I mean, OPUR upholding their end of the bargain and making it look pretty comfortable is definitely a good sign.
I mean, the thing is, like, yes, OPUR looked pretty good here, but on the other hand, if you bring triple autoloader, then there is essentially, in 95% of the rounds that you're going to be playing with triple autoloader, there is realistically two results. Either you completely smash the opponent, or the opponent completely smashes you. This time it's going to be OPUR, 1-0. Alright, round number 2 in between Falcons and OPUR. Falcons looking for that equalizer, doing so with a 277 quadruple 60 TP, a singular 50B, and the mouse.
That's a bit of a party mix actually from OPUR. 60 TP, IS7, E5, Batchat rounded out by triple mouse as well. So they've gone for the whole shebang really, but as expected, not too much in the ways of the autoloaders coming through for Falcon. Just the 150B for Reflection, which you've seen him in every now and then, but definitely not to the same extent as what we got from OPUR.
Okay, so most importantly, how do these lineups stack up against each other? Well, basically in a straight-up brawl, I would favor the team of OPUR simply because the mouses have so much more sustain. The E5 brings DPM, the I7 a bit of hull-down power. But the thing is, Falcons are not going to let it come to that. Obviously, with those 60 TPs, they want to do the hull-down trades. They want to do those big alpha dumps into enemy heavy tanks. And so OPUR, they will have to use Piotrix in that Batchat simply to outspot the opponents, to generate map control. We can already see here Robin taking a beating. Actually, Ketsai with the Ignite gets a lucky fire out of it. And now 1337, so pretty lead by Robin, but that again means that he's going to be a one clip for that Batchat moving forward.
Yeah, really not a good start at all for Falcon, is it? You want that CS60, or 277 I should say, in the corner there to have as much HP as possible, because there's definitely a world now where the Batchat opts to cross, just clips him out. There's nothing you can really do about it as the 277.
I mean, looking at the minimap, the 60 TP in G3 could definitely be a nuisance for the Batchat. And now I think, yeah, they're not going to go for it. Why put all your eggs into one basket if instead you can just go on towards the long rotation, get some more spots. They still have 6.5 minutes to work with. So yeah, even if the Batchat misses one shot, he's still going to be able to clip out against Robin and kill him normally with normal rolls. But why would you do that commitment immediately? You can still do that at a later point in time.
Yeah, I think for me that's what I'm kind of looking for, is to see what actually eventuates here for Robin later on. So a good shot into Rexar.
Blind even.
Which is the IS7 that's been set up on the hill for OPUR in place of the Batchat. But yeah, I would be certainly a little bit concerned about Robin's health for the rest of this round. Even if it does end up actually being Rexar in that IS7 to try to get on top of him, there's just no way you necessarily win that fight as Robin. If all the tanks that are trying to assist you are a little bit more focused maybe in on the fight that will happen in the town and turning their guns away from the cross, then it opens up the door for that IS7 to go for a big cross. But we are seeing a bit of bleed here from OPUR. A little bit of poor discipline maybe is allowing Falcon back into this round.
Yeah, Piotrix here in the northern part of the map on that A-line, also not finding the 60 TP. And now we can see what I said at the start of the round coming into effect, that basically if you let those 60 TPs trade against the mouses, then even with that low heat pen at some point in time, they are going to get those pen rolls, they are going to get the alpha damage into the mouses, and that is detrimental if you're looking to start some sort of shootout. Yes, currently OPUR are still able to sort of keep the bleed on towards everyone, but that in turn means that everyone is trading badly.
Well, Piotrix is having a grand old time driving all over the map.
Reckon up that mileage.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. That's what I was going to say. He's like he's stat padding his distance traveled stat, but we'll hold that thought for the moment because it is go time for OPUR, and it is Kerolf that is going to be sent as the sacrificial lamb onto the cap. So far, only a couple of shots going in his direction, but down to about 1,400. is less than ideal. HR going to come around the corner and won't manage to slide that one in. In fact, actually gives up a fair chunk of his HP himself.
Yeah, and T-Sec there paying 1,200 for a single shot of damage on towards HR, and now Pansphere and Ketsai, they will have to prevent the peaks by Junction. Now the timer obviously on, but the bleed has been substantial. T-Sec down below half HP, Karolf to 1,400. We will see a reaction by Falcons coming in though.
You got the Batchat back in the same position it was earlier on in the round, and I think this is what OPUR have been setting up for. They want to turn the attention back toward the town with that cap pressure and then send the IS-7 and the Batchat to deal with the isolated 277 down in the K1 position. Rexar's pushing his way forward and as of yet really not taking a huge amount of damage for it. In fact, you probably don't even need to contribute the Batchat toward this 277 as well. I mean, the IS-7 can probably get that job done itself, but it looks like Piotrix is on the way as well, and that should, in theory, be the opening pick for OPUR.
Piotrix, though, taking one, taking two on the cross, and there's the 50B to boot, so Piotrix possibly going down here. He does get the 277 pickup, though, so is going to be safe for the time being. That's going to compromise the 60 TP position in G3. First of all, though, we'll have to see how exactly things pan out here at the cap, as Karolf is still tanking like a Jap. Jiang Shan did expose here, does take 1,000 for his troubles, and now 33 seconds. That is still not too terrible, but the shots, they simply do not connect. The pen rolls aren't there for Falcons.
Yeah, can't really be bouncing a shot in this kind of a circumstance when you're Falcon. I mean, the HP, it's kind of neck and neck, but you are slowly but surely losing this game. There's 14 seconds left as the reset does come through. HR going to have another crack, but really, you'd want this shot to go into the mouths, which is going to be difficult to achieve. And again, another whiff from HR, who was one of the better performers from Falcon in the lead up to this game.
OPUR gonna pick it up here. Cap does complete. Good shielding by Ketsai onto Karolf. And the player that was subbed in with 95 plus cap points is going to be the MVP in my mind. He did cap out. What a champ. Well, round number 3, OPUR looking to go on towards match point. They're doing so on Tundra with triple 60 TP, a single IS-7, 1 E5, 1 mouse, and once again Piotrix whipping out the Batchat.
Yeah, double 60 TP, double IS-7, and more interestingly, triple VZ55 from Falcons. So, talking about autoloaders potentially getting picked up, I suppose the VZ55 falls into that category. We did see a double VZ55 setup from Falcon earlier on in the tournament on Tundra, but triple VZ55 is certainly throwing a spanner in the works.
I mean, that is essentially 3k damage in 2 seconds. That is absolutely brutal. Given the little caveat, you actually need to penetrate those shots. That being said, though, pretty unusual opening by the side of OPUR, I would say, sending double 60 TP through that lower side on their defense. Haven't really seen that one so far, and the VZs that are posted there currently not really able to exert damage. One of them from the hill reflection, finally with a shot, but takes one in return.
Yeah, gets a little bit more damage out than what he received, but the VZ55s are not the heartiest of tanks, so his HP is starting to look a little bit worse for wear at this point, and the 60 TPs do manage to get into their position relatively unscathed. A lot of map control being taken by OPUR on the north side of the map as well. You saw Piotrix in the Batchat pushing one of his mates. I think the IS-7 up there, T-Sec, was the one getting the extra little bit of assistance.
Yeah, now we'll have to see. T-Sec in that northern part of the map is going to be spotted out in that IS-7. That being said, though, Piotrix in that Batchat is the silent, the quiet threat, the ninja, the assassin if need be with that Batchat. He is trying to not get spotted simply because that means that the team of Falcons, they don't know where he is, obviously. They need to respect that threat. And now, I mean, Falcons, honestly, the reaction that I'm seeing from the team in orange right now, they look a bit stunned by this opening.
I think that's fair enough as well. I think you would definitely be a bit perplexed as to what is going on here, because this is not a standard setup from OPUR. This is a very aggressive defense, if I'm not mixing my words up too much.
I mean, basically the best defense is a good offense, is I think what OPUR is saying here right now. and they're just bringing the aggression straight to the faces of Falcons. I mean, basically the win condition, I think, for Falcons is just trying to figure out on the timer that you're on right now, 5 minutes and 45 seconds, exactly where the weaknesses are, because obviously if you're being pushed that aggressively, there must be some weaknesses somewhere. There will be openings. It's up to Falcons to find them.
Yeah, it is a bit of a gauntlet being thrown down by OPUR, isn't it? I think it's a statement, really. They know they're up 2-0. If they get in the face of Falcon, they win a cheeky round here, then that really breaks the mental of Falcon. And you can sort of see the wheels are turning, or the cogs are turning in the minds of Falcon, trying to figure out how to break this. But as of yet, they have not moved. They haven't really changed their positions at all. They're just waiting to see if they can maybe get a favorable trade here or there. But it's not happening. It hasn't happened over the last couple of minutes. I don't think it's going to happen now. Ooh. There is a good shot in onto Rexar.
Yeah, finally. So those 60 TPs, they do now know that they're in crossfire. And I think the biggest, I would say not threat maybe, but the biggest, or the coolest thing for Falcons, not necessarily the best one, would be just, you know, taking all those 3 VZs and maybe, you know, the 60 TP, the i7, and just dumping those 60 TPs, because with that triple VZ, the fact remains those 3 autoloaders, they have such a big amount of clip potential. That being said though, Jiangshan driving in, taking a huge amount of damage. T-Sec is going to be hold down, probably going to do one more to him. Pantsfury from the sidelines farming as well, so that push for Falcons not working out right now.
And the VZ55's on the move as well, but as of yet haven't found themselves in a firing position. Fender copping a big chunk of damage there as well. It's Kerolf and T-Sec that are trying to survive, that are struggling to do so at the moment, though T-Sec has a slight advantage over Jiangshan. He's got the reload advantage there as well, so in theory he should win that 1v1, IS7 on IS7. And the next question is obviously what happens when Kerolf goes down, because that now brings it to a 6-on-7. Jiangshan, you'd really want to see him slide this shot through, which he does, and it's up to T-Sec to ensure that he pens this next shell, which he will, and equalizes the numbers back at 6 apiece.
Yeah, exactly. HR with another stunner into Rexar, 841. High roll from that 60 TP, but the fact remains the HP is still very, very even. 1-to-1 in the kill department. Rexar trying to do what he can. He's going to get possibly another reload as he tries to distract HR from doing a good shot here. HR trying to find the opening, doesn't do so currently. Another good one by the ISM coming in from the sidelines. Will Rexar be able to do one more is the question. He would be able to survive one more by the ISM, but good one by HR to finish the kill on towards Rexar. And the Batchet of Piotrix needs to be very careful now, because that is a double VZ. They could just burst him down.
Yeah, certainly doesn't want to be hanging around there too long. Pantsfury might come in to assist. Piotrix with only 3 in the clip isn't a massive threat just yet.
Oh, Fender here now eyeing himself a little bit off that French medium tank. Is going to drive up, but Piotrix will make it out. Pantsfury from the sidelines with a bit of punish, does not get punished in return. Orzik there with a good shot on towards Otto. That is 3 tanks by Falcons that are pretty bunched up. The HP still currently favoring the team from China, but the shots from OPUR are coming in.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily hating this position for OPUR. I think it is still a winnable round, but it's going to be tough. They're going to have to be clean, and their focus fire is going to have to be good. Robin on fire will definitely help out. And Orchek is the last relatively healthy tank here for OPUR. He is doing a good job of soaking the damage, taking the brunt of the fire. Ketsai might give up his life for that kill, but at the worst case, it is a 1-for-1. Orchek will find Otto at some point eventually as well. And Falcon, you can see this health advantage that they did have is starting to swing back in a different direction. And now it is OPUR that actually have the tanks on the field as well.
Yeah, OPUR here with the tanks. T-Sec trying to stay safe. Orzek with the possibility to drop down if he needs to against HR. Another good shot coming in towards Reflection. The DPM of the VZ simply not there. That is 1k every basically like 20 seconds. And you can see once again the mouse there just not offering up those shots. And Pantsfury here with the play that he's trying to make. But HR with the snapshot, with the hit. What a banger in towards the side of the 5. but Piotrix coming in with the steel chair, whipping him back to the garage, and only Ansha remaining.
Yeah, well, that's one way of putting it. I mean, a minute and 15 seconds left here on the attack for Falcon to make it work. It's just Ansha. I just don't see it happening. OPUR, they dug deep in this round. They had to fight for that victory, but they were able to get it done, or at least it seems like they'll be able to get it done. I just don't see Ansha having enough to get this done in an IS-7. It really felt like Piotrix, if he got back in with another clip reloaded in that bad chat, then it was going to be all she wrote for Falcon, and that has been achieved by OPUR. So it is going to be a 3-0, and the Chinese crowd, they were getting a little bit excited there for a moment. They thought Falcon might be able to get it done, but unfortunately, the hometown heroes are in a bit of a sticky situation in this series now.
Sticky situation indeed, as OPUR is going to stick the third one onto the board here. They are going to match point, and man, did it ever look shaky, but does it matter at the end of the round? Obviously not. 3-0 in the upper bracket finals. Yeah, the team from Europe, OPUR, definitely coming into this one with an absolute statement, even opening aggressive here on Tundra defense, which is not something we usually see. Usually also that hill in that eastern part of the map, it means that there's going to be such good positions for the winners, but it is going to be 3-0. Match point for OPUR, a team that has traveled 10,000 kilometers to be here, and the Falcons, the home team, are looking at dropping down towards the lower bracket. They're trying to avoid that with quadruple 60 TP, 1 BZ75, and once again, BZs, 2 of them.
Yeah, OPUR going to do it the Polish way. They've pretty much gone for almost a full lineup of 60 TPs, an IS-7 in there alongside an E5 as well, but yeah, not a whole lot of nuance there really from OPUR, is it? They just want to get in the faces of Falcon and give them a big old rude awakening.
I mean, turns out having 750 alpha is not a bad thing after all, right? With that 60 TP, that being said, I think OPUR, opening-wise, are already, again, switching it up here, eyeing themselves a bit of that water push here. That 60 TP push by Ozek and Tsek is something that you don't really usually see, but they're going to be sent up. They are not spotted currently, so everything right now favoring them a little bit. The timing there with the VZs not working out for Falcons, they're not really going to get a whole lot of damage there, exactly 0, simply because they didn't see anything to shoot at.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty unfortunate, isn't it? Because part of the reason that you do take those VZ55s is to try to get initial early damage out, but no such luck there. So you're kind of waiting for OPUR to make a mistake. Ooh. And the reality is going to be that it's unlikely that in the form OPUR is in right now, they are going to be doing that. That is a huge amount of damage onto Jiangshan. 2 shots go straight in, 1500. There's another one from Pan's Fury in the E5. And that has to be such a mental detriment to Falcon, knowing that they've almost lost a tank off the outset.
Yeah, I mean, Jiangshan there hurrying back behind that production building there, but down towards below 1000 HP. OPUR with a perfect opening towards their attacking round here, looking to put themselves into the grand final already. They're looking to do so without any hassle, without any detour, just a straight 4-0, but obviously Falcons, they are still here with 7 tanks, and they're going to do everything that they can to not let that happen. Ketsai not going to connect that snap on towards Robin's lower plate. Good reaction by the VZ, but the fact remains OPUR currently up 2,500, make that 3,000 HP roughly.
Yeah, and Falcon are losing map control as well. Ketsai is getting a lot of positioning forward as well, alongside the 260 TPs just south of him to help him out. HR wants to have a little bit of a look in there, but he doesn't feel comfortable making a peek, and for good reason, because there is another 60 TP on the B line that we can't see on the screen right now, but he is starting to make his way forward as well. It's Karolf.
Yeah, and there, a good shot coming out from HR. Unfortunately for him, it's going to be a low roll, but it does connect regardless. And now OPUR, they have rotated down the DPM potential from the hill. They are starting to aggress, to advance in the southern part of the map as well. There's a BZ75 waiting for them, namely for Rexar and for Pan's Fury here. We'll have to wait and see how the trades do go in that northern part of the map. Ketsai now going to eye himself a bit of the position that HR was in, but now all of the tanks going to get spotted. He's going to get a freebie in towards Robin, who drops like 1200 HP.
Not sure if I saw a fire there. I think I might not have. I think I've made it up. But either way, Reflection, he's going to try to come back in here and trade some damage with Ketzai. And he'll most likely eat a shot for his troubles. That one didn't quite go through.
We do see now Ketzai and Carol, though, getting pressured by triple tank from the team of Falcons. Double VZ here that is starting to clip out in those VZs. And now Ozek and Tizek gonna get sent over as well. They do realize that Carol and Ketzai are in a world of high roll on towards Reflection. That is a possible one-shot, but now Ozek and Tizek arriving means that they cannot overpeak anymore. The trades by OPUR just coming in.
Yeah, look at the positioning from OPUR as well. This is what we're talking about when we're saying they're just a better coordinated team. Just as you think Falcon might have a little bit of an advantage on the northern side, look who rolls up. Orchek and Tsek are there to reinforce the top side of the map, and it just becomes impossible to win for Falcon. Reflection, he'll be lucky to get both of these shells out. He doesn't even get a single one in that VZ55. Tsek grabs another one onto Robin, and I think that's all she wrote for Falcon.
Yeah, all she wrote for Falcons as the 60 TPs in this match seem to be not able to low roll a lot of those 800 slabs coming into full effect. And now OPUR here, 7 tanks on the board. They are on the victory march in the upper bracket finals. They are going to be putting themselves in towards the grand finals. They'll be eating the popcorn while Hit and Run and Falcons are gonna battle it out in the lower bracket to see who will be able to challenge the team that looks absolutely stellar currently.
Yeah, I just don't see anyone beating OPUR at the moment. Certainly not Otto. He will at least get one consolation prize onto Rexar, but it's not enough even to get the Chinese fans excited because they know exactly where this one is going, and so does he. I think he wants to get this one over and done with, up and over the ridge. He's stopping a couple of shots and he gets one more in, but really, this is just delaying the inevitable.
Polska Gorom, the name of the game of the upper bracket finals, as Pan's Fury is gonna pad his damage numbers a bit more, and they are gonna be so happy. A team of OPUR that on the first day barely managed to edge out the win against a team of Falcons that absolutely did not look ready whatsoever. It is going to be the clean sweep, 4-0.